Boobies.
Are you ready?
Nope.
Well, that's too damn bad.
Yay.
Get ready, you guys, because if you read the title of this episode, we're going to be going into...
Nope.
Nope.
N-O-P-E. By Jordan
N-O-P-E
Peele.
by Jordan Peele.
22.
That's
And
funny. It doesn't feel like it came out in 2022.
yeah, it does feel like it's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe just because I've been wanting to watch it for a long time and never got to actually watch it until now.
I feel like that's how I feel about most of his movies, though, because even when like Get Out and like Us, when we reviewed that one the other day, it didn't feel like they had came out as long ago as they did.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like
Yeah,
Get Out
coming
2017 and then 2019 or something.
But when I think about it, I went to the World Championships for Winter Guard in 2017, and I definitely, the second time I watched Get Out in theaters was after, whenever we let the kids go, because I took a group there, and whenever we let the kids go, like, run around the like mall in
Like you did your own
Indianapolis or
thing.
who
You went to watch the movie?
Yeah, I just was like,
Oh,
I'm gonna
because
go
there's a
watch
theater
those.
in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I watched Get Out again. I really just paid for a nap.
It's perfect.
Because I was really tired.
Low lighting,
Yes.
little ominous
I had like a giant blanket scarf
sound
with me
in the background.
that was the size of a blanket, so I just
So you take blankets into movie
curled
theaters?
up. Well, it was a blanket scarf.
No.
But now that I know that you're allowed to, since you opened my mind to that, I will be.
I've only done it that one time,
I love
but
it.
I want to do it more. But Robert shames me.
Robert.
Yeah, he says, "Don't be one of those people."
And who are you,
I don't know.
Josh?
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm going to therapy.
But
Excuse me.
we are your host. I'm
We
Caitlin.
are Joshua.
And yes, and
We are both Joshua.
we are both Joshua today, and we're also both your boobies.
We're boobies.
That's right. And as you have heard already, we're talking about Nope today.
Yep.
Yep.
Super excited. This is our listener request
Yep.
from Mr. Mason, who is one of our
He's our editor.
pretty much our backbone in editing. Yeah.
He does a great job.
Mm-hmm,
Makes us sound really good.
Makes us very, what's the word?
Concise.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think he actually has to cut out much.
But very professional.
Yes.
And so do you want to just get in? It's a long one.
Yes.
It's a long one.
Yeah, we open up even before like we're getting all of like the Monkey Paw Productions and Universal Studios and stuff. We're getting
Our
the
sitcom.
vocals of Gordy, Tom, Mary Jo. Is that her name?
Yeah, Mary Jo Elaine or something like that.
Yeah, they're all talking. We hear them, and Gordy's the monkey, we find out. But yeah, we hear them, and then it comes to a black screen, and it says, "I will cast abominable filth at you.
Oh yeah,
make
that's
you
right.
vile, make you a spectacle."
Nahum, the book of Nahum.
3:6.
Yeah,
Hebrew Bible.
It's the Hebrew Bible. It's Nahum is
Andrew had to Google that
a
for me.
part of the like old original, not apostles, right? Disciples. There we go. Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, like the original 12.
Yeah, something like that. Well, because there's a minor and there's a major, just like music and like baseball. They're like minor disciples, and then like there's the ones that you know from the New Testament that are
and
John,
those
Peter,
are the
Luke.
12.
Yeah, those are the regular
The
12.
major.
Yeah.
Got it.
They're the heavy
Big
hitters.
leagues.
Yeah, exactly.
Varsity.
Yeah, it's all made up anyways, though. So
That's true. It is.
Yeah, it's all one storybook. And so we have we see the shoe standing right up, don't we?
Yeah.
Already from the get-go.
And we see a little dead body.
Yeah.
Or, well, I thought she was dead.
Her feet.
Turns out,
Yeah, she's not dead. No, she's fucked up.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Ooh, that's not nice. She's been through a lot,
Yes.
which anybody would. She reminds me of, remember that lady who got attacked by her? Was it monkey? Yeah, her monkey. It was like 2005, and he like ripped her face off, and there's like audio of her best friend like calling like the 911. No, it's not Jane Goodall.
Oh.
No, I don't think she's fine.
Oh,
Is she still alive?
I don't know.
I don't know if she's still alive, but
Andrew, be a fact checker today.
I don't think she ever got murdered or attacked. But no, the lady's basically face looked the way that this character's face looked, after the
Oh, she's 88
devastation.
years old.
Jane
Yeah,
Goodall.
she's fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that woman's a saint
I thought there were some things that came out about her that were
because
not
she had
good.
sex with the gorillas.
What?
Yeah, she totally like gay fellatio.
That's
I'm
disgusting.
just kidding.
What? I was like, how is she not canceled? That's
No.
like that animal was not
No,
willing.
I haven't heard any dirt on Miss Jane Goodall.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
think
who knows? I could be a liar.
she could be in the clear,
Just because she's old doesn't make her a saint, though.
but people who are like born before the year of like 19 like 90s I'm gonna say 94 because we're 94, so anybody born before us kind of has probably like a problematic era.
That's true.
Everybody, you know,
I think
because it's
everyone
just the
in
times.
general
It's the times.
has a problematic. They've done something problematic in their life at some point that could come up, and it
Yeah.
could be taken out of context and used against them.
Yeah.
And she does have a .org, so
Oh, does she?
that's pretty nice. JaneGoodall.org.
So that means people will give her money,
yeah.
right?
Oh, I don't know.
.orgs are like
For
funding charities, donations, like all
Yeah.
those kinds of things.
But I think it's donation based.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So maybe people don't give her money.
For her cause.
Yeah.
In the essence, but okay, that's besides the point. The monkey, Gordy, all of that, we get this whole kind of sitcom show set up, and then we do have Gordy looking then directly at us into the camera, and of course we then fade out, fade in into that house,
Yes.
OJ's and Emerald's house.
Yeah.
And did you ever get their dad's name? I know you probably got it.
Doo boppy boop. Oh, it's Otis Senior.
Otis, that's right.
And then
yeah,
Otis Jr.,
Because
OJ.
obviously, they're whenever that one actress was like, "Your name's OJ."
Yeah. And I
Oh.
was like, bitch, come on.
And so we open over the house. We're listening to a weather report, a search for some missing hikers. That's kind of going on over the radio.
With weird big gusts of wind happening. So clearly it's already setting the scene for us.
Something's weird.
Something's going a little wonky.
Yeah, and we have father and son. They're kind of
They're doing
ranch hand
early
kind of
morning
scenes,
cowboy stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something you would see kind of here in Texas probably.
Yes.
And then that's whenever we do have them kind of talking. The dad, it seems like normal talk between them two. But then as OJ is walking off, we have like this the cell phone service goes out on his phone.
Phone's glitches.
The radio obviously goes out. Obviously you can tell there's no
down.
power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
while they were talking, before we get too far from it, the dad said something about it'll bring us back for the sequel.
oh yeah.
And I thought that was kind of funny considering this is the second film that OJ's actor, what is his name again?
Oh, Daniel,
mm-hmm. Yes, has been in.
Yeah.
Even though it's not a direct sequel, it's still like a sequel. And I thought that I wouldn't put it past.
And also a movie
Peele.
about movies. That's just kind of also like the language of jargon. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't put it past Peele to have put it in for multiple respects and for what it
seems like everything
mean.
has like 2 or 3 meanings with his movies.
Yeah.
And so especially like the shoe and stuff, which I guess we'll get into. But we do have shit falling from the sky. I don't know at this point. No, we don't. Do we see? We just hear it. We see things. Later on, we actually see what's coming from the sky.
But just random shit. It was like, what is happening? Like bullets, who knows? And you're hearing women screaming in the sky.
And then the dust is like, going up in the air because of all the little things hitting the ground. And then the horse in the ring gets spooked out.
Yeah.
Kind of starts walking off as he's trying to call to his dad. And like, Dad, pops. And then we just see his pops slump over off of the horse, which is really sad.
It was.
And then we get the scene.
You could tell something was wrong with him too, even before. He was just way too still.
And we get the scene of where they're like, in the truck. We have them. OJ's trying to keep his dad alert as one would while Charlie get them to go to get some help. And then once we're at the hospital, we do see like he's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure at this point he's dead.
I think so.
Yeah. He's dead because that quarter just obliterated,
ripped through his skull.
Yeah.
From such a high altitude, I'm assuming, and then also probably shot out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that key, as we see later on, was sticking straight up out of the horse. There's a key in Lucky's
that's on its butt. But to me, it seemed like Well, I don't know. I don't even know what I know. But yeah, either way, he's dead. He's taken out
Yeah.
by a quarter, which we do see. And then we're back at the house. And like you said, as soon as he's back in the house in the driveway, we see that horse that had the little key stuck in its behind.
Yep.
And then we get a title card.
Nope.
Nope. Credits, and they're playing over like this like square wind tunnel looking thing.
Yeah, it was like fiber optic looking kind of
Mm-hmm.
tunnel-esque. It
Mm-hmm.
looks like the inside of one of these guys.
It does, doesn't it?
We
It
have
looks
a
like a lot
wacky
of things.
inflatable guy here today.
Yeah, in
He's
honor of
not very
Nope, you guys.
wacky.
And we turned him on, but all you would hear is just the fan blowing in the
Mm,
background. But he is here to keep us going, support.
yes.
But yeah, we do. He see this like the credits going over the whatchamacallit, whatever it is. I don't want. I mean, the thing that we're seeing, we find out what it is later.
Yeah, it's a like little stop motion animation
Yeah, yeah.
of this man riding a horse.
A jockey.
Horse jockey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we do obviously get to find out here in a minute that it was the first set of pictures put together to make a motion picture, right?
Yes.
To make a moving movie.
Yeah.
And also didn't that like also remind me, I think I wrote it. Yeah, it gives like remember in Get Out the sunken place
Mm-hmm.
whenever they were falling into the sunken place, and then the TV screen kind of almost looks like it was getting
Yeah,
smaller and they're
it
all
does
looking
look
in.
like that.
It looks like it reminded me of that as
Yeah.
well whenever the credits were going over it.
I agree.
And then we get a green screen,
Oh, and yes, we do.
right?
Yes.
They're fading out.
And we're with
Was there something
we're
else?
with we're with OJ
Mm-hmm.
and Lucky.
Lucky. Yeah, it was Lucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky at this point. And yeah, they're there in front. The pony's got little markers on it
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's cute. So obviously he's there for a show. They're gonna try to use the horse in some capacity on whatever they're
Yeah,
filming. And
commercial
he is
scene,
and
who
he
knows?
is the horse guy. He's
Yeah,
the guy
horse
on set to
trainer.
make sure that everybody is safe around and with the horse, and make sure that the horse is safe out of everybody for the most part.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
as we can see, these people clearly have zero regard.
Nobody has horse training nowadays.
I know.
I thought everybody was a horse girl.
Yeah, we should cover Horse Girl.
Horse girl.
That's such a good movie.
I've never seen Horse Girl.
It's really good.
I didn't know that was a movie.
It's on par with Aliens.
Oh,
as
really?
well. Sorry, that just ruined the whole movie for me.
Animorphs. That's giving Animorphs. And so we do have them. He's there. He's trying to interact, but obviously the like director and then like the stage crew and everybody in there, even the actress that he's about to meet, which her name's Bonnie Clayton. Bonnie. They're all dicks.
Yeah.
They're all kind of assholes.
Yeah, definitely. They're all being
Mhm.
so disrespectful. The way that whenever, because then she asks, "What's your name?" and he says, "Otis," or OJ, because I'm Otis Jr.
And she was like, OJ.
OJ. And
OJ.
then they were like, "Well, where's the old man?"
Yeah.
And then the director or whoever, the guy coordinating it, I suppose, pulled him aside and was like, He died like 6 months ago, man."
A bunch of random shit fell out of a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
that's
was
just
like,
the explanation that they're getting for his cause of death.
Yeah. And it's
Mhm.
like, y'all are being hell insensitive in front
Oh,
of his
yeah.
son, this is probably the first gig that he's been trying to do since that happened.
His father died. But it's
Yeah.
LA too, Caitlin, so it's show business. People are mean.
That's true.
It's a dog
I
eat dog.
suppose.
It's a dog eat dog world. And I'm sounding like
I thought you were choking.
I am clapping Lupita Nyong'o. But yeah.
Dog.
Literally. And so we do have him. Obviously, he hears everything they're saying, so he's just kind of
It's like, okay, fuck you
his
guys.
one. He's obviously he seems shy. He's non-confrontational. It seems like you said, he's probably still even like traumatized by what happened with his dad, and he's
Yeah.
trying to keep his dad's company alive still. So it's a lot.
There's a lot of pressure when you weren't
Mhm.
prepared
Oh,
to take it over.
And apparently his sister is late, which we do learn. His coworker is late, which is also another stressful thing, because you can tell, especially when she does show up, which is she's played by the incredible Keke Palmer,
Yes.
that she is very much like she's the show, the front person, and he's like the background.
scenes.
He's
Yeah.
the heart of it because he makes everything happen.
Yeah.
But she's the person who can communicate to everybody else like what needs to happen.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
passionate about horses and horses only.
And she's passionate about herself and putting herself in the limelight.
Yes,
which works
exactly.
perfectly.
And then so she finally shows up right in the nick of time
Mm-hmm.
and basically says that 2-second clip was of Alistair E. Haywood, who was actually well, obviously their last name is Haywood, or as we find out. And so that he was distant relative of theirs, like great, 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 great,
great, great, great. And there's another great. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
grandpa, of them. And he was one of the first jockeys.
To be
ever.
like captured for a motion picture kind of situation.
So she says, since the moment pictures could move, we had skin in the game.
Which we do get a laugh, I think, from the director that they end up meeting later, which is funny. He's like a ha. And then we do have and after giving that like history and all that, she ends up plugging herself as well. She's like, I can do this and that, bar mitzvahs, anything you need, whatever. Essentially, she does dancing, acting, singing, can cook a little bit.
Yeah. She can also do jump rope.
Did she say that?
No.
Oh yes, from Jump In. Yeah. She's talented.
One of her first movies.
One of her many talents with Cordon Bleu.
Yep.
R.I.P.
His sister went to Baylor.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Was her name?
The same time we were there.
Gordon Bleu? No, I'm just kidding.
Gordon Bleu.
Gordon Bleu? No.
Girl.
No. Okay.
Girl.
Were y'all friends with her?
Baby girl. No.
Was she kind of a bitch?
I think I never saw her. She doesn't look like Corbin Bleu. So, I mean, yeah, like she doesn't have Corbin Bleu's like iconic hair. If he didn't have that hair, I probably wouldn't recognize him.
I'm trying to put his face in my mind right now, and I'm getting him honestly mixed up with like another person as well.
I think I can only he doesn't look like High School Musical Corbin Bleu.
I see him.
I can't.
But also too, I'm only
shaves
seeing
his head.
Well, I'm only seeing him at the age of like fucking whatever, 23, 24, whenever he filmed this shit. Like I have no idea what he would look like now.
Yeah. Age could have been very unkind to him.
Or very well.
Yeah.
Who knows?
He could look the exact same.
Yeah. And so we do have, after she plugs herself, it's rehearsal time. They want to get stuff going, and the director's like, can you tell the horse that we're ready to go? Even though OJ's already told him like he needs a break.
You need a break. Yeah.
So they're not complying.
Just tell the horse.
So then the horse is not complying, essentially.
And then basically they come and put that weird mirror thing right in its face, and it didn't it
spooks the horse, because it doesn't like direct eye contact, and I guess because of the reflection it was just getting its eyes back at itself,
which they are like little black tar pits. They are kind of scary.
It's very scary horse eyes. And then they get kicked off the set, and then unfortunately they're just like, we're gonna go with CGI instead, and we're just
different animal or something.
It's just not gonna work out.
Yep.
Which is pretty sad for OJ. And so then we have Emerald and OJ talking, and the way back home from this whole situation, you can kind of tell that like she's been away for a minute, or if not that, she's kind of like not a butterfly, sorry, like she comes and goes, free spirit, very free spirit. And so they end up passing the wacky inflatable guys. What are they called?
Wacky inflatable guys is what I call them.
Wacky inflatable guys. And we do see that they're heading to Jupiter's Claim.
Yep, Jupiter's Claim.
Which she called it, what happened to something?
Gold Rush.
Gold Rush, that's right.
It used to be called Gold Rush.
But it's been that way for 3 years, Jupiter's Claim, right?
Yeah. Because he went bankrupt 3 years ago, and Lucky is not really having being put there at all. Lucky was not a fan of that, and we find out now that he's already sold 10 horses to Jupes.
Right, whenever we do get Kiki photobombing in that well.
Oh yeah, which is gonna come back later.
It does. It's a key part of the movie. And then also that well just itself, there's something about cobblestone when you put it all together, it just makes me want to it just makes me wet. I don't know if that's weird.
Yeah.
Like cobblestone, like, and how smooth it is, and like when they meet, and then it's like
whenever you put your head back first, I thought you meant
crack
like
there. No, like bang my head on it.
Yeah.
No, I just want to like touch it.
Looks very nice.
Looks very nice.
Very appealing.
And like they all fit very nice together, and sometimes they're like all like, this one was like to where they were like mismatchy by like one little bit, so I just love that.
So each row was like basically in the windows of another one.
Yeah.
Fun fact: you can actually visit Jupiter's Claim.
What?
If you watch Nope and thought, man, I really want to spend a day at Jupiter's Claim, you can. because Universal Studios reconstructed the park as part of its studio tour on the Hollywood backlot.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
And they also have a Jupiter's Claim website, and you can follow it on social media.
Is Steven going to be there?
Yeah, if there's no Steven,
Then
no
I don't
deal.
want to go.
I love him.
He is very
He's
cute.
so cute. So cute. His little outfits, too. Little cowboy outfits.
The red jacket was really bomb too.
With the spaceship.
Yeah, it was a bomb jacket. I would want that jacket.
Let's all be Jupe for Halloween.
Ooh, we could all be separate characters, actually. I want to be the alien.
Okay. I wouldn't mind. Emerald had some pretty cool outfits.
Emerald. Yeah, she did. She did. Or I could be Angel and just like dye my hair bleach blonde.
Angel was actually really cute.
He was my favorite character.
He was so funny.
He was very like the light comedy. Well, both him and Emerald were actually.
Yeah.
But
Emerald could get a little almost like, I feel like some of the times I was like,
read the room.
Yeah. Which
ends up getting said later. Yeah.
And not towards her, but it was like, come on, girl.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
She definitely maybe a little too free spirited.
She definitely gives, baby of the family.
Yes, definitely. I would agree.
And so we have them going inside. Well, they're about to go inside the offices because OJ wants to talk to Jupe.
Yep.
Which we find out is, well, we find out here in a second, the guy who runs the place. And then that's whenever they're talking about like, he doesn't want her to go inside because he doesn't want her to like ruin the deal. And then she's like, well, if anybody needs to go in there, it's me. You're going to ruin it. Whatever.
Yeah, you don't have the people.
Very sibling, like,
fuck you. Fuck you.
Tit for tat. Yeah. And they both end up going anyways. And we meet, who do we meet?
We meet
Caitlin.
Jupes.
Yay, who is played by Steven Yeun. And he is so cute.
He is such a little cutie patootie.
That's it. That's all I've got.
End of story. He was my favorite.
It was nice, you guys.
The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah. What was his character's name?
Glenn
Close. Yeah. Glenn not
Whenever
so close.
Glenn died, I stopped watching.
Oh, that was sad because Negan killed him, right? With the.
Yep.
I never watched Walking Dead, but I somehow know that.
It's very spot on to how Glenn dies in the comics. So that was pretty cool. I was like, well, if y'all are going to fucking kill him, let's at least do it right.
Was The Walking Dead a comic before it was a show? Or was it a show and then they were like, we're just going to write comics?
I believe it was a comic first.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's whenever we do have them talking, we see that or hear that there's kind of been already deals, of course, between them because OJ has sold him the 10 horses. But this is where we also get OJ saying like, hey, I would like to buy those horses back, as like we had mentioned part of the deal. And you can tell that Jupes is weird about it. He's like,
gotta backpedal. Let's change the
tries
subject.
to change the subject. But at the same time, which is in his favor, we have Emerald who keeps interrupting, looking at the memorabilia and being like, oh, you're that guy from that show from Gordy's Home.
Home. They filmed that in fall of 96.
98, right?
I put 96.
Maybe it was 96. My bad.
But it could have been 98.
And so, yeah, we have them going over that. And she finally ends up, as they're still talking over the deals.
I think the first season aired
was 96.
in 96. And then the event happened in 98.
Got it.
Yeah.
While they were filming in the second season.
Yes.
And so we do have them talking. And then she sees on the wall Gordy, a picture of him. And she's like, oh my God, that's that chimp that went crazy. My dad told me about that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know what? I don't usually do this, but I'm going to show you something. I usually charge a fee for this. And he takes them into a bigger memorabilia room.
Yeah.
And it gives very like bookcase, like secret room.
Yeah, definitely secret door kind of thing. It was really cool. And he goes on to explain how during the scene, Gordy's birthday, whenever they were shooting Gordy's birthday, basically something went wrong, and 6 minutes and 13 seconds, this chimp just wreaked havoc.
Carnage.
On these.
The studio, the actors.
Yeah, the actors there. And then this is where OJ says they won't let you use chimps now because of this.
Yeah.
This whole incident. And
then Emerald's like, but what happened really?
Yeah.
And he's kind of not reliving his trauma and reliving an SNL skit.
Yeah. He was like, oh, they got it pretty spot on.
Depicted it.
Didn't you see it? And then he does get a little too close to it. And then you can tell he has a little PTSD flashback that's pretty scary to him.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to hide his true feelings about it or not relive it directly. Covering it up with like the memory of that SNL skit.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's that's like rewritten and interwoven into the actual real memory of what happened. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The so this the Gordy incident mirrors a real life incident.
Mm,
If
mm-hmm.
da, 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 something very similar happened in 2009 when a chimp named Travis attacked a woman and left her severely disfigured. Travis has been taken from his mother when he was a baby and sold to Sandra and Jerome Harold, a couple in Connecticut, who raised him to wear the clothes. This must be what you were talking
I
about.
think this is literally
Yeah.
what I was talking about.
Who raised him to wear clothes and eat meals at the dining table with them. Like the
Mm-hmm.
fictional Gordy, Travis appeared in TV shows and commercials. In February of 2009, Travis mauled Charla Nash.
Charla.
A friend of Sandra
Like Charizard.
Harold's. Police, after responding to a 911 call from Harold, shot and ultimately killed Travis, who was still enraged and attempted to enter a police car when they arrived.
That's wild.
Nash survived and over the next 3 days spent over 7 hours in surgery to treat the injuries to her face and hands.
Yeah. And it's pretty brutal. That's crazy though too. The power of like, what he's a chimpanzee, right?
Yeah.
Chimpanzees, monkeys, apes, like just in general, like
I mean, they
strong,
have very
fucking powerful
similar,
beings. Yeah.
DNA and
As us, yeah, they're one chromosome
characteristics.
off. Yeah. Imagine if they were like running the world, we'd be pummeled all the time.
Yeah. I mean, Planet of the Apes.
They know, literally.
do.
And so we do have them heading back home, right? Or they are back home at this point.
Mhm.
And he is basically like, or she says, "Don't you want to open up Dad's liquor cabinet?" Because he's in a serious mood. And
Yeah.
that's whenever he's like, "Oh, I've got weed or something, the good weed or what?"
He says he's got hobby weed.
Hobby weed.
Yeah.
What's
I guess
hobby weed?
that's what I asked. And Andrew said maybe just smoking it for a hobby.
Maybe.
Just,
I don't know.
but I don't know. If any of y'all know what hobby weed is, please let us know.
Please let me
Because
know.
we sure as hell don't.
I don't know what a hobby weed is.
We also get in that moment too that Jupes is offered to buy the ranch.
Oh, that's true.
Jupes is interested in their property because it backs up to his.
And he wants to expand Jupiter's claim.
Yeah.
He wants to cash in, man.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
And also their house is just so beautiful. Even in the covered in blood, I would take it.
With the red stain all over it. And so we do have them inside. They're drinking now. They're cheering to their dad and talking about this old horse they used to have, Jean Jacket, that was just a bitch to try to train, untrainable. And we get the story of how Emerald was supposed to help train it, but, you know, she woke up and saw that OJ and Otis Sr. were training it without her.
Yeah.
Which was kind of like a memory that she had memorized wrongly, because then he had to be like, no, that wasn't even Jean Jacket. That was a different horse that I was training. Which also goes to show you about, like, you know, how you can recollect. I think it's supposed to tie in as well with, like, even like, you know, the other characters, how Jupe recollects what happened differently than how it actually happened, and how we all have our own recollection of what actually happened.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we did, like, the Scorpion King mentioned how they were training that horse for the movie The Scorpion King, but they ended up using camels anyways. And
I love Scorpion King.
Oh, did you? With The Rock?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's not a great film.
No, yeah,
but
I could assume so.
watched it a lot growing up.
Oh,
and
I watched The Mummy a lot. So
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, The Mummy was my favorite.
And then The Mummy Returns with the Scorpion King actually in it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the whole series.
Did you know that?
I really liked Scorpion King. And the part where they were buried in the ant hill and he had to bite
on
ants.
Scorpion King? Yeah, I've never. On The Mummy Returns, Brendan Fraser and The Rock never even met. He was all CGI'd in later.
Nice.
Brendan Fraser was fighting like something with a stick with like a little ball at the end of it, just for reference.
That's so fun.
And so we do have them. They're talking about how their dad was super hard-headed, and so was Emerald. And then we do see that Ghost is in or out of the arena. No, he's in the arena. He's in like this pen, big arena pen, and he's not supposed to be.
He's out.
And they're like, what the fuck? And then we get a big old this movie is kind of chopped up into chapters, I would say, and they're horses' names, and the first one we get is Ghost.
Yes. Do you think it's exactly the same title card too as like the main title card.
Oh,
Even Nope. Do you
uh-huh.
think the first horse's name was Nope? Because
Oh,
I feel like whenever he was talking to him, he was like, nope, nope, nope. But then I didn't know if that was like saying nope, like not
oh, I don't
that
know.
Otis Sr. was
Yeah,
messing with at the
it
beginning.
could have been. But
It was a white
even at
horse,
the end,
but maybe
it
that
ends
was
with. But
Ghost.
at the end, it ends with Nope as well as a title card. Remember?
Yeah, true. So maybe that was just to be.
But it could have been.
Because then at each,
And what if
we
the
get
alien
each
was
of the
Nope?
horses' names. Well, the alien was Jean Jacket.
Oh, duh. That's right. They do name it.
Yeah, they name it Jean Jacket. And so each of the horses' names that shows up, I feel like it's basically kind of showing how the animal got broken or like needing to tame them back into and trying to like prevent them from going wild, which, and most of the time we get the horse's name, it's as they're about to go up against what will later be named Jean Jacket.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, but it could be. And this totally starts focusing on how he goes outside and he is trying to find out why Ghost is in the arena. And that's whenever we do have Emerald turning on the music very loudly in the house. It's giving what doesn't kill you. Not what doesn't kill you, what keeps you alive.
What keeps you alive, yeah.
And we do have him pulling up to the pin, and
the sky's so pretty there.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, I don't blame Ghost for just looking at that. Like,
it's because it's so, there's no lights, they're in the middle of nowhere, so it's just so clear.
You're seeing the sunset over the little mountain rock things.
And Ghost gets spooked and runs off. And then that's whenever we do have OJ then coming up trying to find him, and he goes further out to a pin or basically the end of their property.
And he hears something over yonder, saying, my family and I bore witness to an absolute spectacle. And then fire or something, big lights, I don't know.
Yeah, it was all from Jupiter's Claim, so I don't know what was going on, or if they were feeding him at that point, or
I think they were also practicing.
Maybe that's what could have been,
and trying to see how consistent it was. I think they were feeding him then.
But it's funny too, though, that like the thing
gushing.
was, yeah, I don't know. But we do have, like we said, the wind gushing. He starts hearing the screaming in the air. And we also see that there were these red, like the airplane lights that let airplanes know, like, don't fly this low on the towers. And they start turning off as, like, we pan the camera as he's looking into the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do have him, the music at the house turning off and then turning back on, and the lights in a weird, like, whenever the power turns off, the music all the time goes like into, it does not turn off, it's just and we're back in the song and down. Yeah.
That's true, which made sense in the house. Were they listening on a record player? Because with the record player, that would make sense. But it also did it in the Fry's electronics truck.
Yeah, which was it's not the same, but it's good effect. And so we do have
but maybe it's just because it's slowly dying and that the battery is,
well, and it's also aliens, so it's not like
they
it's
just do
like
whatever they want.
The fuck they want, literally. And so he does end up hearing more screaming. I think she hears screaming from inside the house as the music turns down a little bit too, and then it comes back on. Which also I'm thinking, like, what is this thing eating if it was only eating horses at this point? Yeah, because we do hear screaming, and then we did have like stuff in the quarter.
I think it definitely ate the hikers and stuff previously. Okay. I think those missing hikers were in there, and I think that's how all the quarters and the keys.
That's true, and how the dad died.
Yeah,
because then I was thinking, like, how did the dad get murdered? But if it wasn't eating people yet, like, I think it was just not the people from Jupiter's Claim, like other random people would come in contact with. Yeah, gotcha.
I think maybe the horse would get far enough out that it wouldn't eat them yet. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe it was being fed so consistently that.
But then we do
didn't need all the humans yet.
OJ does end up seeing the UFO.
Yes, we get our first glimpse of something in the sky. Our first,
and he's freaked out.
Unidentified flying object, and yeah.
Yeah, and so we then have him going back to the house, and then he's obviously clearly spooked, and Emerald's trying to be like, what did you see? What was it? And he basically is looking over the camera footage, and he is not telling her as much right now until they go to the porch, and then he's like, I saw
I saw something.
I
Yeah.
saw something, and he's still, because he has no words for what he saw. He doesn't know what he saw.
Yeah.
At this point, it's still like a mystery, and he's spooked, and it's hard to explain.
Hey there, homeowners. Is it time to give your yard a complete makeover this summer? Villani Landshapers, a local family-owned business, has been transforming landscapes for more than 20 years. Villani Landshapers specializes in landscape design build, retaining walls, outdoor living spaces, and so much more. Request your free consultation today and check out their gallery of residential work at villani-landshapers.com.
From the host of the popular podcast, The Only One in the Room, Stash by Laura Cathcart Robbins is a propulsive and vivid memoir about the journey to sobriety and self-love amidst addiction, privilege, racism, and self-sabotage. Best-selling author Holly Whitaker calls it an irresistibly delicious story, and MacArthur Foundation fellow and best-selling author Kiese Lehman says Stash is emotionally riveting. Buy Stash by Laura Cathcart Robbins now, wherever books are sold.
This episode is sponsored by State Farm. Buying insurance can be complicated, and you might have a lot of questions, like, what if my policy doesn't cover that? Or, what if I need to make a claim in the middle of the night? Good news, State Farm is there for all your what-ifs. You can reach them 24/7, talk through any questions with your agent, and you can even file a claim on the State Farm mobile app. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com to get a quote today.
Yeah. So they get out to the porch, and he says, "Is there such thing as a bad miracle?" And she answers, "Nope," which, like we were just kind of discussing, is this has to be the film that has its title said so many times in the film, like as many times as this one does.
It kind of gives too, like, maybe he wrote the film, but I don't want to speak on his behalf, because, like, who knows? But I'm just like, he wrote the film and then was just like, probably had like 10 different titles of like already, or had another title that he was going to call it. But then he realized, like, man, I used Nope so much time in this film. Like, I just got to call it Nope.
Yeah. He said he wanted to, play into how people most of the time when watching a horror film,
like, real life would be like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's many times, I know for me personally,
like that.
that there's all the time people will do something and I'm like, nope, no.
You do say that a lot, actually.
Yeah. So for me, I was like, yeah. He says the title speaks to the idea of the audience reacting to what they're thinking and feeling in the theater. When you tell people it's a scary movie, a lot of the times they say, nope. So I want to acknowledge those people with the title and bring them in. This is about the person who thinks they don't love the horror movie to show them that maybe they do.
Yeah.
Is a direct quote from
Real
Peele.
life is a horror movie. Every day we're living, walking through it.
Yeah, for real. But Bad Miracle, back to that.
Yeah, so like he's telling her, they're talking on the I might have been taking notes at this point because I don't remember that line specifically being mentioned. But
yeah.
I do know what you're talking about though. In the Bad Miracle,
Yeah, it was a quick mention of it there, and he's like basically going on saying like Ghost made a sound a horse has never made before. Like I've never heard that sound come out of a horse. But as we were just talking about with Andrew, the Bad Miracle part, like the shoe with Gordy and the shoe standing straight up, like that's not possible. But that thing saved, it was a bad thing that happened that caused that shoe to be standing up.
Yeah.
But it saved Jupe's life in that moment because he was so fixated on it and didn't make direct eye contact with the chimp until the chimp had calmed down. But then unfortunately was shot right in front of his face, which was so traumatic. But
yeah.
And then there's so many instances where like
throughout the film,
some of these things, could be really bad, but we're also like they saved other people. What does that sound? Do you hear that?
ever so slightly. Yeah.
Okay, weird. Anyways,
It's the alien, and so that's whenever we do have them
going to
basically
Fry's.
going to Fry's. They're
Which
gonna go look
have
for.
you ever been to a Fry's?
I didn't even know it was a real place.
It is a real place.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I was reading some stuff about it, and people were like, "Believe it or not, Fry's Electronics is real." And I was like, "I went to Fry's all the time growing up. We
Where's
went there
that
more
at?
than Best Buy. Apparently, it was a chain in California, but we definitely had some in Houston.
Oh, okay,
too.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so
H-Town,
I went to Fry's. I think more than I went to Best Buy.
and it's the same exact concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a different.
Name.
But it was all like kind of Texas, like out themed. Like it
okay.
looked like at least the one that we had, it looked like giant oil rigs and stuff like that.
They're all
that
themed
what the Fry's
differently?
you went to was like?
They're
No.
all themed
I guess
differently.
maybe yeah.
Yeah. And so they're there. They're talking as they're going through the shopping cart in the aisles and trying to like think about.
They gonna get the money shot.
Yeah, they want to get the money shot, which is what they're calling the Oprah shot at
The
this
Oprah
point.
shot.
And then we do end up meeting Angel, who is a sales associate, who's basically trying to help them check out. And that's whenever he's kind of being a little sarcastic baddie.
Yeah.
And he's,
He's
do
definitely
y'all,
in a grumpy mood.
oh yeah, do y'all want any install or whatever? And they're like, no, we'll
Nope.
do it ourselves. And he's like, oh, okay.
Just like
It would be easy for me, but not for y'all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because OJ was like, is it an easy install? And he was like, yeah, for me, not for you.
Yeah. Which they do still kind of end up like denying the help, but he ends up driving out there with them for the most part. It's kind of
Yeah.
insistent. And so he goes out there, and he does explain to them that he just got out of a 4-year relationship that morning, which would explain why he was being
So grumpy.
which I also thought was kind of funny. Like, I guess maybe to like humanize him in a way, because we are essentially introduced to this character and we're supposed to care for him already.
Yeah.
But I also thought that I was like, that's kind of a lot, meeting a new character, and then we're like, okay, we just get this random story.
I think
of
that
like,
also is just his personality.
it could be.
He's just like, here's all of me. Here's my trauma.
Yeah,
Right
that's
from the
true.
get-go. And then, of course, he also, I feel like, kind of needed to explain why the hell he got out of the truck and then just went, ah, like screamed.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, my bad.
My bad, you
Sorry,
guys.
I just got out of a
I'm going through it.
4-year-old relationship. Yeah. And
he did also only come out because they were being whenever he was trying to ask like what they were trying to get, like he's interested in like, oh, this could be aliens, this
Yeah.
could be something that's
he's
happening.
like, they're trying to get something that they don't want to talk about.
Yeah, so he's intrigued.
Yep.
And so that's whenever we do have them. Oh, Emerald is like, is this gonna take more than an hour? And so she ends up popping out. She wants to go do something.
Yeah.
Which we do see in a bit. But they end up talking, Angel and OJ, a little bit. He's shitting on the CW as someone
Fucking
should.
CW.
Fucking CW.
But
And
CW had the best shows growing up.
CW has shows that are like very CW. What are the best shows that you're talking about? Because I feel like CW
had
is different.
Heroes, right? CW also had Smallville. CW also had, I think.
But that's back in the day. I'm talking about like new
well, I don't
CW.
know about new CW.
Like the Flash, Supergirl, DC, like all that. Like yeah.
Oh.
Even the Charmed reboot. Like
yeah. Old
not the
CW
best.
really.
But
good.
also old CW wasn't the CW. Wasn't it WB? Was
No.
the WB like Fox? Like all it was like conjecture. I thought.
There was definitely a CW because
Was
Smallville
it? What?
and
That
Heroes.
shows what I know.
think also Supernatural was CW.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What does the CW stand for, Caitlin?
Continue watching. I have no clue.
But we do have him showing OJ like the camera setup and everything. They're talking about UFOs are no longer UFOs. They are called UAPs, unidentified
Air person.
air persons. Is that what
Air
that is?
pilot.
Air, I don't know. I have
no clue.
no idea what a UAP stands for. But
And they're pointing all the cameras towards the sky. And
Yeah.
at this point, Angel's like,
this is weird.
What
Yeah,
is
because he's like,
this?
don't you want it facing this one? He's like, no, up. And so
more.
that's whenever they're going over theories over aliens and ancient aliens and all this stuff, and he's telling him what he should watch, Angel to OJ. And then we do have freaking Emerald coming back. What is a UAP? Did you see it?
Yeah. It says unidentified aerial phenomena.
Oh,
There it
okay.
is.
That makes
Sorry,
sense.
there was like anomaly resolution office and stuff, and I was like, what? Those aren't the right letters. My brain was
That
trying to
doesn't sound right,
compute.
yeah.
And then I was like, then it's finally at the end of the sentence that the United States of the Secretary of Defense that investigates unidentified flying objects and other anomalous phenomena, sometimes termed unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP.
I want a UAP. We could be
Aerial
UAPs.
phenomena. I would say that is more fitting.
It does, yeah.
For-
because it feels like it's more inclusive.
And it's not just an object.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're
Because
not
who are we to assume?
objectifying
And who are
jean
we to
jacket.
assume that it's an object?
That's right.
We don't want to misgender, objectify,
yeah.
categorize. But yeah, and like they're going over their theories over aliens. Oh, and then Emerald shows up, and she was pretty
She got
mischievous.
that pony.
Yeah,
That's right. And I like how whenever Angel's going through and he's talking about like there's 3 different reasons that these aliens could be here. They could be intergalactic travelers looking for peace, future humans
coming back to show us the error of our ways.
Yeah, and to keep us from destroying the planet, or they've been watching us and they're world killers.
They're world killers,
which is that's unfortunately the reality we are in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. It could just be hungry.
Yeah, I think it's just an animal.
Like an animal, territorial. But also, if there were more of them, that would be bad.
At the top of the food chain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it also gives signs. It reminded me of signs. How like, McCulkin's character was telling us of like, how the aliens and why they would come. Oh my God, my mic's everywhere. But yeah. So, and then we have like she came back with the horse that she stole from Jupiter's Claim.
Yes.
And it's a fake decoy horse that they're setting up, for the alien. No.
Yep.
Yeah, to like lure him out.
They are.
So that they can get video footage of him. And at the same time that they're setting up, of course, we have Jupe driving up.
Mm-hmm. Of course, right there, and he's like, "Why? Where'd you get that horse? It looks like mighty familiar."
But before he can even say it, she's like, "Where'd you get yours?"
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
And then I loved how Angel like starts yelling, "Thanks for stopping by," and she's like, "Boy, you don't even live here."
He was like just trying to help. I love his character.
He's trying to get in on the cut.
He seems very genuine.
Yeah. I also felt like he was trying to just like weasel his way in the event that they now did have any sort of money that comes out of it, and he can be like, I helped you set up all that equipment.
But they did need a tech guy.
That's true.
You always need a tech guy.
They did.
Yeah. And so.
But I feel like he was definitely like, let's get that money.
Yeah. He wants the bread. He just got to avoid your relationship. He wants to like get that money and then be like, look what you lost.
He's going to buy the CW and then fire her.
Because she works at the CW.
Don't have that pilot episode. Nope. Season canceled.
It's been canned.
Yep.
Sorry, you guys.
But then we get our second title card of Clover. Right?
Yeah. We do. Yeah. You're right, because the only thing I had was that Jupe was inviting them to that live show.
Oh yeah.
That he's going to be having on Friday. They give that thumbs up, and then I think at this point Angel gets a little bit more of an explanation from OJ and Emerald, and then he's about to leave, and then he's like, oh yeah, because he's like doesn't want to leave, remember? And then he's like, oh well, rate me, whatever. And they're like 5 stars, Angel, 5 stars.
Yeah, that's right.
But then we do get Clover,
and
like a 4-leaf
clover. And who is it? Oh, Emerald passes out while watching videos about aliens, and she's in her little, who knows where she is, in a little like trailer or something.
Yeah,
it looked like she was not in her house.
I don't know, but it could have been the little trailer they had on the side, or maybe a little shed building or something, or some setup.
But the machines start to turn on outside.
There's something going on in the horse stalls.
This part actually got me.
Really? I thought it was because this is your first time watching, right?
Yes.
When I first watched it too, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I did not like the way it stood up, like.
Yeah, it's very creepy.
And then the way its head was like
popping out slowly. But that's just how, like, whenever you watch like on YouTube and stuff, like creature like of aliens and stuff that have been spotted, they always do that shit. They're obviously fake and doctored, but they like barely come out a little bit. But I thought whenever I first watched it, I was like, surely this isn't real. Like, this isn't like, this feels too comical almost.
Yeah.
But it was also creepy at the same time too.
I just didn't like the way that all of a sudden whenever he turned back, so he goes outside to turn off the equipment.
Yeah.
And then as he's leaving, they of course turn back on. And then but then it's like still dark in there, right? And then
he has to get his little flashlight out.
Yeah, and he turns around and there's just like this like
all you see is silhouettes.
mass, and they're like in a blue like almost like a car mechanic jumpsuit, and so you can't really see their bodies in the darkness, but you can see their little egg heads. They look like little eggs, and so just the way that it was standing there and then like stood up was just so creepy to me.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's totally, especially because it's dark time. You're thinking, oh shit, these are the aliens for real. Because at this point, we're still thinking it's like aliens and not necessarily like
an alien,
a creature film. And so we have that other little alien like popping its head out from the top. And this is where we do get another nope from him.
Yep.
And he's like, nah, because he walks off. He gets his camera out to try to record. And I love how we're getting through his camera. The
one popping its head out.
The one popping its head out very slowly.
Yeah.
It's really building up the tension. And then we do have them, of course. He punches one of them.
Yeah, he turns around. One's already hanging like a bat.
Yeah,
upside down next to him, like from the rafter, and he's just like poof.
Knocks it the fuck down.
And then that's when we realize that it's Jupe's kids.
Yeah,
it's Jupe's kids saying, "Don't mess with our property."
Yeah, pranking them.
Yeah, for stealing their horse. Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty funny. And then we have Angel, who is watching the cameras back at work, and
and Clover. They let Clover out.
Yeah.
In that instant too, and so this is where Clover's coming into play. But
and so,
Angel's watching it.
And Emerald is looking at the cameras back at the house, and we do see that a praying mantis falls on or lands on the camera, which freaks the fuck out of Emerald. And then obviously praying mantises do look alien,
pretty alien-esque, yeah.
And they're like pretty vicious.
Eyes.
Yeah, they're predators. If they were our size, actually, they would dominate.
Yeah,
because of how like meticulous they are and how.
Yeah,
that's super cool. Have you ever watched YouTube videos of like praying mantises eating cockroaches and like other little bugs?
Yeah, actually, I think I have seen a few.
Pull them apart.
Also, don't praying
they
mantis
eat them alive.
Kill their
spouses. It's like a black widow.
Like a black widow. Yeah. I was like, I'm
the
pretty
women.
Sure the women killed the men.
Killed the men after they get what they need. They bite their heads off. Exactly.
It's like I'm gonna hide.
It's good for the placenta for the babies.
I
don't think they have placentas, but yeah, it's good for like the nutrients of the father's body. Like gets absorbed into whatever it is.
They knew what they were signing up for.
To the eggs, to the eggaronis. And so that's whenever we do have her, Angel calls her and he's like, hey, there's a bug on the camera. She's like, I already know. And I told you to not be watching us. Yeah. And so that's whenever
he was like, okay, but camera B is down.
Yeah.
Because she had kind of walked off already and we saw an alert like popped up on the screen, but we couldn't read what it was.
Yeah.
And he's saying camera B is down, like ancient fucking aliens down.
Which is so, I love his character.
Yeah, he's funny.
And so we do have Clover getting spooked.
And not wanting to go back at first. And yanks him down.
And Emerald's still on the phone with Angel at this point, which is also, we do have Angel's coworkers like eavesdropping and like watching the whole time. I love even whenever I think
she's like, did OJ?
She's like, what happened to OJ? Okay? Yeah, she's like, so what happened to OJ? And so he's like, I need you to get the bug off. So she's going up to get the bug off, but he's telling her that so far. But then at this point, OJ's looking at the cloud. We have Emerald looking at the cloud, and she's like, that's it. Because then she's like, it's in the cloud, and she's yelling to OJ, run, because it's in the cloud. And he's looking up and he's like, yep, it's in the cloud.
Because also at that point
you see the flags.
Yeah. And it had sucked up that little pony,
the fake pony.
Yeah.
And so
in that little tornado wind tunnel thing,
yeah, which was pretty cool.
And you can hear the other horses going wild in the background, and he runs. And then, so
to hide in a horse stall.
This is the first actual glimpse of, or like the first like full on body view that you get of it, Jean Jacket.
Yeah.
And I, for the life of me, could not remember the word stingray.
Oh yeah, and that's what it was giving. Yeah.
Trying to type it out. That Jordan Peele actually worked with a like super intense jellyfish person for like the main ending one, but it gives stingray the whole rest of the time to me. But I couldn't remember the name stingray, and so I called it Danger Pancake, and then I referred to it as pancake.
That's what they are, though.
They're actually majestic flap flaps from
majestic flap flaps.
It's Danger Noodle is a snake, majestic flap flap is a stingray, but I couldn't remember stingray. danger pancake is
They're
what I
so
called it,
cute,
and I keep
yeah.
referring to it as pancake.
I didn't think about
for
it, but
half of my notes.
you're very correct. Like it does look like one, especially with the opening at the bottom and stuff, and it's round like the round ones. Yeah.
And so there was one time when I was young, my dad and I were swimming in the ocean, and we had gone pretty far out.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point he goes, "Caitlin, like stop." And I was like, "Okay." And he goes, "You see that cloud in the water in front of you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "That's about 7 or 8 stingrays. I'm going to need you to stay calm, but like we got to get away from them."
Yeah.
And then of course I did not stay calm, and I was just like
Freaking out.
like climbing over his body,
Yeah.
trying to get past him.
How
like,
old were you?
I had like 8,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, I was
As
pretty
a kid
young.
would. Yeah.
And but I mean, and then just even the way that the stingray looked in the water in front of me and stuff very much mimicked how it looked in the sky. And then like that, my dad literally described it as a cloud in the water, and that's what it looked like to me the whole time. So to me, this thing was a stingray, and then once it morphed, it became a Dumbo octopus.
Yeah.
The little cute little, they're so cute.
When it came into its
Little
full
ears.
form,
Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
But it definitely does give jellyfish too, the way that it was moving. It was definitely an aquatic.
It
It looked aquatic.
Xenomorph to me as well.
Okay, yeah.
The little mouth that came out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Andrew at one point when that green thing came out, I was like,
Like,
what's
is that its pussy?
No. Oh, no. I said, what's that fake stuff they put under sushi sometimes? That like, it's like
stuff,
fake little, it's like trimmed seaweed.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
And that's what it looked like little.
Coming out.
Yeah.
I thought it looked really
or
weird.
like
I thought
an elementary school art project. Where
Yeah,
you just
cut the paper, construction paper. That's
Yeah.
what it looked like. It did. It looked like fabric a lot of the times to me. Like whenever you get a bed sheet and you're like, or like hold the sides, and then the wind outside is like holding and it catches the air.
Yeah.
Parachute even like.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is definitely a lot of different
Inflatable
stages.
wacky tube guy.
Man. Yeah. Just a bunch of them stitched together to create this really
One
it was
giant
really
wacky.
beautiful actually.
Yeah, it was really pretty.
It's kind of like a bad miracle, you know, like it was so beautiful but it's bad, you know what I mean?
It's just killing people.
Yeah. And so we do have OJ making it to the horse stall. He's hiding out in there. It gets quiet and there's no power. Emerald is trying to get the bug off the camera at this time with like little Sour Patch Kids because she can't reach all the way up there. And while this is all going on, OJ gets a very up and like front view of Clover getting sucked up by.
And it was a dope long shot circling like
of around
having
it,
that horse, yeah,
and then just like coming, getting it.
It was
Yeah,
really cool.
And so OJ, or no, at this point, that's whenever everything happens, and we're back in the house, and Emerald wants to leave.
And you see it disappear, and then that's of course the praying mantis
Jumps off right at that time. Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, is this thing controlling
Beings,
animals too,
I don't
or
know.
something that's keeping it?
It could be,
You know, or
but
it's like
it just also seemed like
maybe that
just
praying mantis is like,
coincidence.
I don't know, no coincidences ever.
It's true though.
Who knows?
Especially from the movie Signs.
Yeah.
And so that's whenever we do have her wanting to leave, but then oh, sorry, that was me. And and then we have Clover. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, OJ wants to stay, obviously, because he's just like, you know, there are mouths to feed. We got to take care of the place,
Yeah.
and also he's a bit invested at this point in trying to, like, you know, this is as much as he said,
He's
like,
curious.
yeah, and as much as he's also, we do find out that this UAP is territorial. I mean, this is OJ's home, so he's like, this thing is
No,
not
back
about
the
to.
fuck up.
He's not gonna run me off
This is
my
like-
home. This
yeah,
is ours. Like,
This
yeah,
is what we've
this is
built.
dad's essentially. I think it's more so even like this is dad's.
Yeah,
Like, this
and
is,
I'm not gonna lose
or
Dad's
leave it.
home.
Yeah,
and
this is
Dad's
my last
company.
connection to him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think he also honestly liked the challenge
Yeah.
a little bit of breaking and defeating
Mm-hmm.
this thing, because at one point, you know, he says like anything with a spirit can be broken.
Because we do get the flashback of Ghost. This one of the horse and how the
And
dad was
Ghost
saying,
acting out territorial and stuff.
and how some animals are not fit to be trained.
Yep.
which is a direct quote from Otis Sr. But obviously Ghost had been trained because he stuck with it and
Yeah.
he's there now, so he's also using this and like, no, this is like you said, a challenge for me to
Yeah.
like not tame the beast, but figure out like what is going like
what it's
we're
makes
gonna
it
understand
tick.
each other.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we're calling up Antler's host. Was that his name?
Antler's host, the filmmaker, gets called by Miss
Filmmaker.
Emerald.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She says, we're looking for the impossible shot, and basically
we
there's
know
something
that
out here and you're
Mhm.
the only one who can capture it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so he's enticed, but also he's kind of like, I don't know if this is worth my time,
Yeah.
essentially.
And he says, like, I know where you are, like a dream where you're at the top of the mountain and all eyes are on
Yeah,
you. And he
mhm.
says, it's a dream I never wake up from.
It's cryptic.
And then he
as
just
fuck.
boop,
Yeah.
hangs right up.
And then we do have it's the next day already, and Angel shows up.
Yep.
And he's like, oh
And I
my
put
God,
such a cutie.
it's real. Yeah, he's very cute. And then he's like, it's real. And he's looking at the sky, and they're like, huh. And he's like, wait, y'all don't know? And he's like, and he has to show them, like, he's pulling up the camera footage and he's like, tell me to stop when you see it. And OJ sees it, and we realize that there's a cloud that has not moved, because you see all the other clouds moving, but it is like just staying
It
still.
stayed there the whole
Mhm.
time.
And it's been there.
And OJ makes a comment. He says, I've probably been looking at the same damn cloud for 6 months now
Yeah.
and didn't even know it. And
Mhm.
that because it's just basically sitting there waiting at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And then
And
he
then
was like, okay, this is proof, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, no,
we need better proof.
we need better proof.
Because then
There
even
are weather phenomena all the time that happened. This isn't the Oprah shot.
Yeah, and then they're even talking about the UFO and UFO perspective, and then that's whenever OJ's even like, it doesn't move like a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if this isn't a ship?
Yeah.
This moves. This gives animal.
Mm-hmm.
And then
We cut to another
Gordy.
Yeah, title card, and it's Gordy's time.
Yep.
And we get thrown right back into the sitcom setting, and we have the
seeing
family
Baby
all
Jupe.
together, Baby Jupe, which the casting did really good because it does kind of
It did.
it was
did look
familiar
like
of
him.
Steven, yeah. And
I could definitely see him
like
looking
him,
like that as a
mhm,
little baby.
like baby face.
Yeah.
And so we do have
little chubby too.
yeah.
Cute. I wanted to squeeze his cheeks.
What was this sister in the comedy, or
Mary
Mary
Jo.
Jo? That's right. She brings out a birthday present for Gordy after
Yes.
the dad gives his and tells his dad joke and whatever.
And this
yada,
was
yada.
in 1998.
In 1988, because we get a little year. What is the title card? I guess flash.
Yeah, because we're with the monkey and we get that clip of the opening dialogue and everything, and
Mhm.
she's giving the present and everything, and then it flashes to a black screen.
Yeah.
After the first balloon pops,
That's right.
because
Yeah.
she opens.
Oh yeah,
the
that's
box
right.
And, it's
And then it
balloons
goes up,
coming out.
and then it pops that black screen 1998, and then we're like on the set, and it's
we're
like
hearing
eerie, and we're just hearing
screaming.
screams. We're hearing
Metal
the monkey,
scratching,
the
thumping.
chimpanzee. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so that's whenever Gordy's really fucking her up.
Yeah, his
'Cause
hands are
he's just
completely covered in blood. His face is
pummeling
covered
her.
in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's I think also eating, not eat, but
I
maybe
think he was
mauling her,
eating her.
or mauling her at least. Like
Yeah.
not necessarily in
It
like a
sounded
eating
like some, like,
for like digest,
chewing.
maybe,
Yeah.
but like for like like
just attacking.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And so why can't I use words?
You did a great job. I knew exactly what you're talking about.
And so that's whenever we do have then the sitcom dad pops out, even I think to
Tom.
try to escape Tom, and then but obviously Gordy sees him and he starts chasing him around until he finally does get to him, and we do get like a little glimpse of him getting pummeled by Gordy. And Jupe, poor baby Jupe, is just like watching the whole thing unfold in front of him,
Yeah,
and we
he's
do see the
hiding.
shoe at this point too in the frame, I believe.
Yeah, we do.
Because it's
Shep
there.
standing up right across from him.
And as Gordy comes back, we do see him like being aware that Jupe is there, right?
Mhm.
And then
And
that's
we
when
see the chimp kind of come back to reality because he
Mhm.
tries to wake Mary Jo up.
yeah,
He's like, he
Tapping
kind
her
of, or at
foot.
least that's what I gathered
really?
it as.
Yeah.
It seems like
coming
he was
out
like,
of his fit of rage.
yeah, trying to be like, okay, well, come on,
yeah.
like get up now.
We're playing.
It's okay.
Or whatever.
Yeah, and then not realizing that
What he
he's
did. Yeah.
hurt her that badly.
And
then yes, he locks eyes with Jupe.
Jupe, and then he comes in closer, and it's so sad because he's about to give Jupe this like really bloody fist bump, because that's
Mhm.
what they, essentially. I think he even said like we came up with that. We coined the first like fist bump on TV or whatever earlier
Yeah.
in the film, and just gets shot right in front of baby Jupe, and like the blood even splatters all over Jupe. And then Jupe gives this weird, like little eerie, like kind of smile-ish after looking at the shoe that's standing up,
Yeah.
which
I didn't realize that.
it's like he's like, yeah,
Just kind of like, what the fuck?
it's just the slightest little, like the ends, instead of being like this, like traumatized,
It
they kind of
slightly
go up a
turns
little
up.
bit. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I'll have to. Maybe he was already thinking about the money.
Yeah.
He was like,
I don't
"Ooh,
know.
Gonna cash money, Diz."
And then that's whenever we come into Big Jupe,
Yep.
right? And he is with his wife in his trailer.
Yep. And she's kind of bringing him back down to reality.
Because he was basically
bit.
reliving. I feel like he relives that moment every day, maybe.
Yeah. In a very traumatic episode. Yeah. And so she's
but like
helping
almost
him ground him.
yeah, and like a unhealthy, like he's
Obsession.
yeah, way.
Yeah.
And so they're getting ready for showtime.
And he's practicing, and it says, "What if I told you?" And then cut to black.
Lucky.
Lucky.
It reminds me of Britney Spears. Isn't she lucky? I won't.
There was,
Yeah.
at the beginning of what's that
Mhm.
movie with J-Lo and
Which one?
Lily Reinhart,
Ooh,
where
Lily
they were
Reinhart. I know both of those.
getting the
What are they in
cash
together?
in like Hustlers.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
is that
yeah,
what it was
Hustlers. They're
called?
both in that together
Yeah.
with Kiki Palmer.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
At the beginning of that movie, when J-Lo's like dancing, it says, "This is a story."
About a girl.
And about a girl. I think she does say about a girl. And when I was watching that in theaters, I was watching it with my friend Malin, and I was, as soon as I heard this is a story, and I said about a girl named Lucky, and Malin was like, "What?" Malin didn't know Britney Spears because she's younger than us, so she didn't really listen to Britney Spears.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Because she's 20.
Even by the time we started listening, Britney Spears was even like older than me. I was a baby listening to Britney. Like when Lucky came out, we were like, what? Not even 10.
First grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
It was 98 or not 98, my bad. Like 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2001.
Because
Yeah.
that was the gold covered
gold-
album. With
That's
like
the Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah.
It was after Baby One More Time. But getting back to the movie,
Yes.
it's Lucky, and we do have Angel helping to protect these cameras from a storm that's about to come up, and we do have
2000.
2000.
Yes.
Oh, that's when it came out.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
sorry.
No, you're good.
I
And
don't know.
so we have. I knew it was around that time. Do you know what song we're talking about?
You.
Yeah. Sorry. We have a ghost in the building, you guys,
We
that
do.
we're talking to. A very cute ghost.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about Angel protecting the cameras from the storm. And then someone's going to get Jupiter's going to get Lucky. Or no, OJ, he wants to go get Lucky back.
Yeah, because he
knows
finds the flyer and he's like,
he puts two and two
"Oh,
together.
shit."
He knows what they're doing at this point.
Yeah.
They're feeding the horses to the
Yep.
beast. And so that's whenever we do come back to
Jupe.
Jupiter's claim star lasso experience.
Yep,
Mhm.
exactly. And
And-
this is where we get that cute little jacket of his with the spaceship on the back.
Yes. And
Which
then
I
Mary.
didn't notice at first. Andrew pointed that out for me. Thank
Yeah. And then we do have Mary Jo Elliott gets her introduction. She's in the house.
And I was like, "Oh, what? She's not dead?"
Yeah.
That was where I realized. I was like, "Damn, I thought she was
Mhm.
dead."
And then Jeep is like, "Are you ready to rumble?"
Let's get ready to rumble. Boo-doo-doo-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-boo-boo. Hey.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then that was when he said, "What if I told you in about an hour you'll leave here different?" And
Yep.
this is where we hear what he was practicing before. Every Friday, my family and I bore witness to an absolute spectacle.
For the past 6 months, yes.
Yep.
And at 6:13 p.m., which is another reference to 613, which we feel that either Jeeps is obsessed with this number or it's just like coincidence, but not coincidence. You know what I mean? Because
Oh, yeah.
for Gordy's attack, he
It was
attacked
6
for 6 minutes
minutes
and
and
13
13
seconds. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And so that's whenever
Good point.
he does tell the viewers that. Oh no, he tells the people in the audience that he caused the aliens the viewers.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see what they do here in a little bit. But
That
before
a flying
that,
saucer descends through the mist. And
his
then
boys are gonna put on a show.
That was when I realized. I was like, "Oh no, every single horsey is dead."
is dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he was acting weird earlier. Of like when OJ was asking, I want to buy them back.
Yeah.
But you can't because they're gone.
Because they're inside jean jacket.
They're digested at this point. No, does alien poop?
I was imagining that's what all that blood and stuff coming out of it was. Had to let it all out.
I thought it was just
It's
actually,
period.
or I thought it was honestly being petty and like just
Throwing
because
up.
the way it was directly over the house.
Yeah.
It specifically chose to like, bleh, you
Yeah.
know, kind of like The
Oh,
Exorcist.
I definitely think it was intentional where
Yeah.
it dropped it. But
Mhm.
I'm wondering if maybe it does have to excrete
just do
it
that
somewhere
every once
else.
in a while.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then it was like,
Yeah.
here, let's.
It did have to excrete. I don't know if I don't know if it's necessarily that it has to excrete the blood because we
I
did
think it has
have
to get rid of non-human
the coins and all that.
objects.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, just like how earlier that's how his dad died.
Yeah, because later on, whenever it is with the blood and everything, we're seeing like, scooters and wheelchairs.
There's
and
a
stuff
wheelchair on top of the
falling
house.
down through. Yeah.
And so we do have
Jupe saying that he thinks that the viewers trust me.
Oh, that's right.
And he's saying the Star Lasso experience is going to change you. And then we get Cotton, Phoenix, and Nex. What? Oh, those are his kids,
boys. Yeah, they're gonna do
yeah.
a little number. He's like, remember those names, and but before they can actually do their number, the alien is early.
Yep. It's on its way, and he says they're ready. We're ready.
Yep.
All the electronics start dying. The wind picks up, and then
it's right above them.
It takes all of them.
Yeah, and it's so. I like how it shows it because all you see is like the shadow of the people getting sucked up and like hearing their screams.
And you're watching.
Jupe just watching it from his perspective in awe of what's happening.
And then he gets sucked up.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Well, yeah, here in a little bit. Not just yet, though, because we do see that they are all in
a throat.
The being.
Thing.
Yeah, they're like getting sucked up into the vortex, which is pretty terrifying.
Yep. All of them dying.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, well, that's kind of not that bad because they're still alive. But then I'm like, imagine must be horrible getting eaten
and like
alive.
Suffocated to death.
And then like, or what, like, I don't know if they're acids or what goes on inside of it, or like we didn't see,
or
like
if it
maybe
gets the teeth.
That's what I was about to say. Like they start getting munched up and like turn into juice.
Yeah.
Not a good way to go.
Oh, the humans got juiced.
They did. And so
Jean Jacket's just on a little diet.
And that's whenever OJ shows up.
All natural.
And he is like, something is weird because there's obviously empty arena. It seems like the place is abandoned. There's a pig on the roof of one of the buildings. It gives very like Disney World, Hollywood Studios, how those are set up with like these fake little saloon looking house area.
Definitely.
And so that's whenever they do, he gets out to the arena and he sees like, oh shit, because Lucky didn't even get sucked up yet.
Yeah.
It just came for the people.
And Lucky was inside that glass shelter.
That's true.
As well. And Lucky probably wasn't making eye contact. So.
And at this point too, the Jean Jacket probably was also like, I'm not going to suck up another fucking horse. Y'all give me a fake ass horse next time. Yeah, that horse,
like it's probably scared of horses. And that's what they say later on. Like this is probably not going to come near a horse for a little bit.
Because of the fake one.
That. Yeah, exactly. And so then Pancake comes back and is getting closer. Jean Jacket is. And then we hear, it kind of sounds like people riding a roller coaster.
It does.
The way that it would be like, wah!
Yeah, it's true. And he's trying to call out to Lucky to come to him, but Lucky won't do it because he's obviously spooked, and kind of like a deer in headlights. And that's whenever we do start hearing all these screams, and the thing comes back and sucks up Lucky. And we can obviously tell it's not a ship, and it basically comes so close that it. Like, OJ gets knocked over. He
gets underneath the covering of that arena, the roof, and the roof basically
collapses
him.
Right over him though.
And I don't know if it collapsed, but it definitely
he's safe. He
gets inside of it and he's safe.
He doesn't get sucked up,
but he is knocked unconscious. Through it, and whenever he wakes up, it's raining. And then this is when I think we go back to
because
Angel.
We're back with Angel, and he was with was he was on the way to he was leaving or on the way? I don't even remember.
I think
he was there, wasn't he, already?
The way.
He was on the way, that's right.
And then eventually he goes to leave, and then that song is still playing, I think.
Yeah, because he's in the car and the power starts turning off. And he's like, "Oh shit, it's close. It is nearby." Because he does go back in the house, and that's whenever we do see that OJ is in like talking to himself, and he's like, "It's alive. It's an animal, and it's territorial." And we do have
And he
Emerald,
thinks this is his home.
yeah, and Angel are back in the house, and we do hear the screams over the house. And that's when we start hearing the shit falling from the sky.
Yeah.
And start hitting the ground.
I was like,
which is
did
all
it
the
just
random
pee
stuff.
on their house? That's what my notes say.
It kind of gave that,
Yeah.
but
And
it's
then later on, I said it's on its period.
Yeah, because as it's over the house, as it's just kind of hovering over it, it starts secreting all the blood that I'm assuming is from all the humans that it just ate.
Yeah.
And
And dropping the unwanted items, basically. All the things that it didn't want to eat. And the blood just raining down on the house is
it's pretty freaky,
fucking cool.
spooky. Yeah, I know it is very cool as well.
Yeah.
And we do have,
But it is terrifying.
yeah, meant to be Emerald or Angel, and they're also like, "What the fuck is happening?"
What was it that we were watching? Oh,
What'd
we
you watch?
watched Accepted yesterday as well.
It's a college movie, right?
Yeah, with
For
Justin
comedy.
Long.
Yeah.
And the shit.
He
the
makes
shit
up a fake
sandwiches.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at one point, Jonah Hill's character says, he was like, I'm not going to stick around for the blood to start dripping from the walls. And then that's kind of
What that
very
reminded
much
you
like
of?
this was. Yeah. Because especially with that shot of the window and you just see the blood like
Coming down.
glooping down in.
Yeah.
But sorry, I got my movies. I was like, someone says that, but no, that was Jonah
That's
Hill
in the
in
other movie.
Accepted.
And so
We watched that yesterday as well. So
OJ,
all one movie.
it's all in one conglomerate.
And we
Oh,
also watched Dodgeball.
I've seen love
so-
that movie. Yeah.
Justin Long was in both of them.
Mhm.
He had an accidental Justin Long marathon.
Aw.
We should have watched Tusk.
And then you could have Barbarian in there.
Yeah,
too.
and Barbarian. That's
Mhm.
true. Love Justin Long.
And so we do have OJ pulling up, and he's witnessing that, like, he sees Jean Jacket over the house, and he's like, "Oh crap!" And he's
But
just
of course,
kind of,
the truck dies.
yeah, the truck
as he
dies,
gets close.
and he's just kind of waiting there. And we do see that the Jean Jacket is moving. We see kind of cut through the lightning and all that, and then we have it over OJ.
Yep.
Because there's no rain happening over OJ, and so that
Mhm.
means that it's over him.
And so he just has to sit tight.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, doesn't he? He falls asleep.
He
in the
falls
car.
asleep for a little bit because he's like just waiting there, and then when he tries to see if he can get out, it's still on top of him, and that's whenever it ends up dropping the fake horse like on
Oh
the
yeah,
truck.
that's right. He hasn't fallen asleep yet. I don't think.
Well,
No, yeah, he did.
He did, because it
Yeah.
happens after he wakes up and he tries to look
And
out.
we get another nope from him
no,
here.
yeah,
He's like, nope.
and
Because he
closes
opens
it.
the door, yeah. And then, yeah, that's when the fucking horse
Gets dropped.
That part kind of scared me,
No,
too.
yeah, because it could have killed him, and then
It
it
made
was
me
really
jump.
jump scare.
Yeah.
And
I
then
was like,
he
"Ah!"
even at this point, that's whenever he just locks the doors of the truck.
I know. I
'cause-
was like, boy, what good is locking the door
Yeah.
going to do for you?
Yeah, and so it's also very saying like I feel like it was also what you would call it, like Jean Jacket just being like, "Don't fuck with me,"
Yeah.
like just messing with him essentially.
Like, y'all fed me this shit.
Yeah, take it back.
I want real food.
And so that's whenever the storm passes, the power comes back on. He's driving very slowly, or pulling up even. No, he doesn't pull up, my bad. He gets out of the truck because he then tries to get back to Angel's van, which he notices is still running because he
Mhm.
obviously can't drive the truck because it's got the horse in it.
And at this point, I was like, oh, I feel like this is a trap.
Yeah, because it comes back.
Yep.
And that's
And then
whenever
it
we
did.
do have Emerald and Angel trying to run, from the house to the to the van, and he's yelling at them to like don't look at it in the eyes, and he's telling himself like don't look at it in the eyes, and he's trying to avoid eye contact with them, and they do make it to the van, and then they are able to like get out of the get out of Dodge.
Yeah, they're able to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where we flash to Mr. Host, Antlers,
Mm-hmm.
director man, is hearing the news basically, and he's kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
something is going out here, out here. And the shots that he was watching both time were all really cool. I felt like those like animalistic shots.
It was like a Komodo dragon or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there was a few
Mhm.
different ones, like something
Mhm.
like an alligator or something. And yeah, there's a few different shots of animals eating other animals.
Mm.
It's a
Very
very
prey.
symbolistic of
Yeah.
what
of what's
is
happening right
actually
now in the
happening
movie.
in the movie. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
And then we have them at the diner, our little gang, our trio. And
Agua Dulce is also a real place in California,
oh, is it?
Yep.
Got it.
and it's home to multiple ranches frequently used in film and TV.
Oh, cool.
So it was perfect.
Yeah. And so we have them eating at a diner.
Yep.
And this is where we get that comment from
RTR, Angel.
Angel. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's RTR?
Read the room.
Oh, read the room.
That's
Got
what
it.
he says.
I was like, what?
'cause
Oh, yeah.
basically, like, they were sitting there eating, and
Yeah.
he's like, nothing beats a fried fish sandwich. And they were like talking about the tartar sauce and stuff. And then out of nowhere, OJ's like, I don't think it eats you if you don't look it in the eye.
Yeah.
And then Angel's like, motherfucker, like, read the room. No one wants to
Yeah.
talk about this shit
We
right
don't
now.
want to talk about it. They're all a little traumatized at the moment. Or trying to also, make sense of what they just witnessed, encountered, saw, especially having the blood pouring all over them. I know there's, especially Angel's like, I don't know if I want to deal with this anymore.
Yeah, not feeling comfortable with this. And they go outside, and then basically
They're talking more about it.
Yeah, and he was like, every animal has rules, basically, and we can figure this one out. And OJ's saying, like, he has to go back. He has to go back and feed the animals, and like, it's up to them if they want to stay, but he's going back. And so that's what they do. Him and M head back to the blood-covered house, and then all of a sudden,
you can still see it. It's so stained. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was messed up. But then we see Antlers is there, and he was like, "There's a wheelchair on your roof,"
Which is really funny.
It was really funny. And he was like, "Okay, well, so how do we get it to come?" And he said, "Well, every animal gets hungry." And he goes, "We just need to ring the dinner bell, and it'll come." And he says, and I think that fake horse and the flags got caught in its windpipe a bit too. And so he was like, I don't think it's going to be coming anywhere near that, a fake horse or any of those little pennant flags.
The all-new Chevy Colorado is made for more. Stacked with the latest in-vehicle technologies like a class-leading 11-inch diagonal center touchscreen and an extra-large wireless charging pad. Plus, it features wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility to make staying connected easy wherever your adventure takes you. Chevy Colorado, made for more. Learn more at Chevrolet.com/truck/Colorado. Claims based on latest competitive data.
As if the McCrispy couldn't get any better, Bacon and Ranch just entered the chat. The Bacon Ranch McCrispy, available at participating McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
And so we do have the gang coming up with the plan now.
Yep, the big master plan.
How they're going to lure in Jean Jacket.
And that's when they also name it Jean Jacket.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And Mr. Hobbs, what's his name? It's not Hobbs. Host.
Antlers.
He does have a non-electrical camera.
Yep.
And we do have them actually as well coming up with gotta blur it out for everyone else. Oh yeah, they're talking to each other because they want to make sure that they get the footage before, because obviously it's already been in the news that like Jupiter's claim stuff happened with them.
Yeah.
And they want to beat everybody else to the money shot.
Yeah.
Because they've only got like 1 or 2 days tops.
Exactly.
And we do have them, I guess, having like dinner or something, because we have Mr. Host then doing the Mr. Purple People Eater.
Yeah,
song.
I've got a few. So before they even do all that, they still like the wacky inflatable arm guys.
That's right.
That's when they're going and stealing all of them. Hence why we have a wacky inflatable with us.
Yes.
And then testing all sorts of things like in front of the horses. We just get this montage of them like kind of preparing for stealing the dead people's car batteries from Jupiter's claim.
Yeah.
Basically, they're like, well, they're dead.
They're not going to need them. Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
What's in their honor? Because they're trying to avenge them.
Yeah, that's true. They're trying to save what killed them or save other people from their same fate.
Yeah.
And then this is where I liked this line coming from OJ when he said he's big, he's bad, and he's got a lot of spirit. But anything with a spirit can get broke. And then that's when Antler says, so you break it and I'll get the shot.
Yep.
But yes, then we're here with Antler singing Flying Purple People Eater, which Andrew had never heard this song.
I've never heard it either.
Really?
But I know what a purple people eater.
Horn, flying purple people eater.
Like I've heard of a purple
horn.
people eater before. I thought it was like an old horror movie or something, classic movie.
Yeah, it's a song that's always played during like Halloween. Like if you look up like a Halloween spooky playlist or
It'll be on
something,
there?
I feel like it's typically on there.
Not for Christmas?
No, not really.
But yeah, we do have them now setting everything up.
Can I read what he says though?
Oh yeah.
I like the words from it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. He says, well, it came down to earth and it hid in a tree. I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, don't eat me. And he's like singing it. He's not like actually singing it to that little sing-songy one I had. But he says, well, he looked at me in a voice so gruff. He said, I wouldn't eat you because you're too tough.
Which basically is also what is going on with the thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It was honestly
classic
quite
inflatables, I
perfect
guess. Yeah.
for what was going on. And then he says it was a one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater sure looks strange to me. It says one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater like 4 times. And it was kind of funny how he did like talk out
the entire thing. Yeah.
He said it multiple times.
It's more menacing. It's more cryptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good. And of course, Antlers is so cryptic.
And his name's Antlers.
Yeah.
Antlers host.
Antlers host.
And
but this is where we get our jean jacket
thing.
I believe our jean jacket title card.
Yes. And that's whenever they're setting up, they're turning on the music. The inflatables go up. But in the midst of trying to get everything and set up the shot, we get this jackass who's driving up on a motorcycle with like a very shiny helmet, which is obviously like the thing that the dude had at the beginning with the horse and how the horse got spooked. And so like his helmet couldn't spook this thing. But you know, we do have Emerald who's going to try to deal with it, and she's trying to talk to him, and it's TMZ.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, basically trying to get the scoop from her, and she's trying to like tell him to leave and to warn him to not to go the way that he's heading. But he obviously doesn't listen to her, and he starts going that way.
Because we've already seen that one is down. Over there.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh shit, is it coming?
Oh yeah,
or
one of those
it...
inflatables.
Yeah, one of the wacky inflatable dudes went
OJ's
down.
like he's definitely poking around.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to mess with us.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's whenever we do have that guy going towards it, and even Angel's like, so what happens when someone's going 60 miles and then hits like an electrical field disabler? I don't know.
On the opposite direction.
Yeah.
On an electric bike.
It's so funny because you just see him and he's like, just a scream. Flying across. And so poor guy, he's just there because they're like, well, he's definitely dead. And they're like, oh shit, he's not dead
because he just starts screaming.
And then so OJ, of course, because he's the good Samaritan that he is, he's gonna go try and save him.
And he says, I'm going dark.
Yeah. And he tries to go in, talk to him, try to get him out of the way. But this dude is crazy because he's like, wait, please, where's your camera? Why aren't you filming this?
He's just worried about the camera. And I was like, boy, why are you worried about the camera? Your job is not worth
it's even weird
life.
Because he's even I thought it was really coincidental too that he's even like, come on, Scorpion King, like make a name for yourself or something.
Yeah.
Was he wearing something that said Scorpion King, or was
he
it?
Was.
Oh, okay.
His jacket said Scorpion King.
Okay, I must have missed that
on the back of it.
Got it. Okay, because I'm like, why would he bring that up?
It said Scorpion King on the front, but the back said Crew.
Got it. And so, but you know, he's just like, even OJ is at this point is just like, I've done all I can for you, and he has to walk off, and then the dude gets like sucked up and eaten.
Yeah, because we hear Angel go, it's here.
Yeah, that's right.
Very reminiscent of Poltergeist, which I thought that could be a fun movie for us to cover next.
Yeah.
Because it's a classic that we've never covered.
We haven't. I've never seen it.
We should. Can we do that next?
We can talk about it.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could do it. Sure.
I think that would be a fun one.
Okay.
I don't know if that was on Jordan Peele's list of movies you should watch.
I don't think it was. No.
But I feel like that was a very intentional reference that he did there.
Yeah.
It's the same sing-songy voice.
Yeah.
Oh, Poltergeist is so good.
I've never seen it. I don't know.
I think you'll like it. Hopefully.
80s?
Right? Late 80s, early 90s? The furniture and late 80s. It was 80s. The furniture in there is phenomenal. Anyways, but yeah, as OJ leaves the writer, he's like, my bad, man. And it sucks up the writer and also the wacky inflatable.
Yeah.
And then, and OJ flips up his hood and it's got eyeballs on the back too. Dink, dink.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it had 2 little, they were like, they looked like green, But yeah, they were two little like
Yeah.
drawn like paper
Eyeballs.
just stuck onto
Yeah.
his hood. Yeah.
And he's holding his head down the whole time, trying to walk away,
Yeah.
trying not to look at, the
Not making no
the
eye
thing.
contact.
At
Yeah.
this point, we do have he's I think he said he's gonna do the run, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna do the run, and so he ends up, getting on the alien and trying to, or not the alien, the horse.
Yeah.
And
he rides.
he
Jean
rides
jacket.
right. Could you imagine?
Woohoo!
He rides the horse, and then that's whenever he ends up. They get the shot.
How to train your alien.
It's a whole thing. But they end up getting the shot.
Yeah.
And Antlers is up there, and that's whenever they're like, did we get the shot? And they're asking him about it, and he's being so weird.
And
Yeah.
cryptic, and he's like
Telling Angel like
the light. He says it's going to be magic soon.
Yeah. Which I think they did get it, but he essentially was like, I'm going to do better or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
I can do this better.
can do it even
he
up
wants
close.
the shot.
Yeah.
And he needs it to be beautiful.
And so,
And he weirdly tells it's going to be all right, Angel, as he gets up, which was like, what the
and then
fuck?
Angel's even to them is just like, hey guys, he said something really cryptic and he's left. He's going up with the camera.
Oh, yeah, because he said, we don't deserve the impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. So Host is he's climbing up and he wants to get the shot of this thing, I guess. And I guess
doing
he's
it for the gram.
Yeah, and I guess he's also doing it for like, basically I'm gonna get it on footage and see what I want to see, but like nobody will ever see it.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Nobody
Get this
else will
footage.
ever
have the
see
privilege to. They don't deserve it.
it. Ugh.
Yeah. So
He
it's very
should've- I thought he was
WTF.
going to like, go like Twister,
Mm-hmm. Oh, tie himself down or something.
go into the eye of the hurricane or something. And then
yeah,
like
that
just
would have made sense.
try to throw the camera out and they could recover the film.
Yeah.
Like I thought he was going to save the film somehow and
Yeah.
be like, that's what I would do. If I was going to like die for something, I wouldn't like hoard it.
Yeah.
I would, because if he wanted to be at the top of the mountain with all eyes on him, all he needed to do was like posthumously, like, he threw that down. Oh my God. Why can't
Posthumously.
I say posthumously? I can't say that word now.
Yeah.
Anyways, but have that as his last thing that he ever did. That would be really fucking cool. That's what I would want to do.
But
He didn't.
He doesn't.
took
It
it
just
with
gets
him.
sucked up, and you just see that he gets a shot of it while he's like getting into the thing. You just see his little legs just like flailing in the wind, going around the vortex, which is pretty fucking stupid. But at this point, that's whenever there goes the camera and everything, and it gets all. At this point, I think something, I don't know, was it the footage or something falls off of it or something, and Angel tries to go after.
Yeah, something
Angel
like that.
kind of gets swept up a little bit, but then he gets like thrown off to the side.
He gets wrapped up in a tent.
Yeah,
basically, like the tarp ends up covering him, and it's wrapping him all up. And then he, because he couldn't see, and then he realizes that he's like mixed up with the barbed wire fence as well.
Ouch, yeah.
Which he wraps the tent around his waist and then secures it with the barbed wire, so that way whenever it comes back for him,
it doesn't
again,
want to eat him.
which it does. Well, he doesn't get sucked up. Because it was like Twister. He did tie himself down.
That's true.
The barbed wire prevented him from getting sucked into the vortex.
And I also thought like his meaning or thought process of wrapping himself out in the plastic tarp was also like, he won't eat me because it'll be plastic and he won't it'll like spit me out.
Yeah, probably.
And so that's whenever we do have it then going after Emerald. And then at this point, it kind of goes back and forth between Emerald and Angel, because at this point, that's when it does suck up Angel a little. That's when it does end up sucking up Angel, and he gets almost pulled up, but then the barbed wire, like you said, snaps him back, and he like falls to the ground. And that's whenever we have OJ coming to rescue Emerald, because he's like telling her to get out of here as it's coming closer
get the bike
to her.
and get out of here.
Getting closer to her. The alien is opening up at this point, and like you said, it's starting to look like I feel like would be its true form, I guess.
Yeah.
Or attack mode, I don't know.
Yeah.
And like
It's
you
like,
said, it does look like a Dumbo octopus.
Yeah.
Or what is that what you call it?
Yeah, they're called Dumbo octopus.
Very cute.
Very cute. Yeah, it was really pretty, like you said.
And it gave to me very like, it was, you said it earlier, like an aquatic being, like the way it was moving, so like,
which, as
flowy.
we've already confirmed, octopi are aliens.
That's true. Yeah.
An alien life form. So I mean, it's perfectly fitting. Did he do that before that announcement was even made?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because
Jordan Peele knows all.
I don't know though.
What if Jordan Peele is God, y'all?
He could be.
I would I'd follow that.
It's the second
religion.
coming. And so that's whenever we do have the OJ gets on his horse and he's calling out to it. He's like calling it like he would a horse essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to lure it away from Emerald. And he does so just enough to where it starts coming towards him. And even like I said, this is where it reminded me of like a xenomorph because it's like little mouth starts popping out and starts like doing that pulsating thing.
Yeah.
And it's very pretty. The colors on
is.
it were like, it gave, like you said, origami, also construction paper like type
Yeah.
of thing. And it ends up going just far enough for Emerald to leave on her bike and get on it and get out of Dodge. As it starts chasing after her essentially, and she's making her way to Jupiter's Claim.
Yep.
And she gets all the way there,
and she's kind of collecting police lines on it
mm-hmm.
as she goes,
Yeah.
which is like more plastic in the streamers, like kind of attracting it in her direction.
And she ends up sliding in.
Yeah, which was really cool. And I was like, how the fuck did she do that? And then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's right. She did say she rode motorcycles at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which was like, duh. Because otherwise I was like, and even I was thinking as she was driving, I was like, damn, this bitch is like really good at, because on a dirt road for one thing, that's dangerous.
I've never ridden those before. I don't know.
Well,
how that
not
is.
Just any
Bike.
like motor
It's true.
vehicle on
Yeah.
a dirt road, like
True.
cars, lose,
Tires, traction.
Mm-hmm. And so with how quickly she was zipping through there, I was like, damn, like she is a professional.
And she slides in like a baseball player.
Yeah, which was really cool.
Yeah, apparently.
I was like, damn.
There's, I don't know, I've never seen this movie, but there's a movie called Akira or something, right? And it's one of Jordan Peele's favorite movies, and so it's like a reference that pays homage to that. I had seen a video about that.
I had never seen.
Yeah,
it's
it's an anime film.
Oh,
yeah. So I thought you could
Why have I
appreciate
not
that.
seen it?
I don't know.
I'll watch it.
You should look it up. And so that's whenever she does end up making her way into releasing the balloon guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a whole process.
Jupe.
She's got her whole idea, big old inflatable jupe. She's releasing him, and it starts going into the sky. And she's like, "I know this is gonna fuck you up."
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she has this really smart idea of going to the well.
Yep.
And then she's getting these coins. One, I don't know where she had all these coins on her, but she just has coins. Happens to have enough coins to put it in there.
Well,
And-
the coins had, I believe, fallen from all of the people and who got sucked up.
But like she went and collected all of them? Or
Yeah, like I think they just randomly fell on the ground. Like I think the thing was just
Oh,
dropping some of the coins after it ate all the people at Jupiter's Claim. I'm imagining it just
But,
got
like,
rid of all the coins.
She was picking them up from the ground? Or I didn't see that. I thought she literally had them like
Oh
all
yeah,
in
no,
her.
she was collecting them from the
Oh,
ground.
okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's whenever the whole process of like the balloon thing is up in the air and we see it coming and it's like really pretty and majestic. And finally, like you said, it looks like a jellyfish and it ends up devouring the balloon jupe.
Yep.
And it's eating it and you see it sucking it up into its little vessels and then all of a sudden, pop! It just
I wasn't
bursts.
expecting that.
I wasn't either when I first watched it.
I was like, oh fuck!
Yeah.
It exploded.
Yeah. It just
Damn.
bursts.
And the fucking alien is just gone because it shape shifted back into its smaller form. And I think whenever it did that, it compressed it too much and it just went.
It popped. Yeah. And then on the inside, it just like blew it up.
It exploded.
Yeah. Which is very Jaws like how they ended up killing the shark in Jaws with like the pressure. So he ended up just blowing up, air pressure.
And she yells, "Nobody fucks with the Haywood, bitch."
Yeah. And so that's whenever we do have she's sitting there as the last photo comes out. We do have reporters and stuff showing up outside of like the police signs of, the Jupiter's Claim.
And I liked how the Jupiter's Claim closing announcement also started going off, and he was like, basically the sun's setting, you got to go home, and he says, "We wish you well," which I thought was fun because she was right next to the well.
And then she looks to her right or left or whatever, and she does see that OJ showed up, and
Out
you just
yonder.
see his silhouette. Yeah,
with his bright orange jacket. And girl, I hope she did not forget her picture.
I know, because it pops out and she got the shot.
Yeah.
And then that's whenever it just flashes to the big old title card. Nope. And that's the end of the movie.
It is.
And that is a beautiful movie to end the movie.
2022.
2022.
Jordan Peele did write the role of OJ specifically with Daniel in mind.
Oh, really?
He wrote it for Daniel, this
wow.
role. Yeah. He really liked him after Get Out and stuff. and decided to
I can
use
see
him.
why, because even there's a lot of moments in this movie where Daniel's acting is so like nuanced, and so like he doesn't have to say a lot,
Yeah,
and the way he
because he really doesn't have a lot
he
of
doesn't have a
lines.
lot of dialogue, and a lot of it is even just like his
Body
body,
and his
just
eyes.
looking, and
Yeah.
like just
He's got really powerful eyes.
he does,
I feel like.
yeah,
And because there's that one scene
especially
where
the cinematography, especially when shot when he's like in the truck and stuff.
yeah, the truck is what it was. I
Yeah.
pointed that out because
Mhm.
I had started falling asleep last night because we started it pretty late.
Yeah.
And so we had to get back into it this morning.
Mhm.
And that was the exact scene that we were on. And I was like,
Mhm.
this is, I just kind of left it paused. And I was like, this is such a cool shot
Mhm.
because everything's
The
so
lighting,
dark,
yeah.
but his eyes are just
Just
like
popping out.
piercing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Mhm.
cool. Jordan Peele and his team consulted with a bona fide jellyfish expert, Professor John Dabiri,
Mm.
about the design of Jean Jacket. Dabiri is a Nigerian-American aeronautics engineer and the Centennial Chair Professor at Caltech and the director of the Biological Propulsion Laboratory. He's also known for his research on the hydrodynamics of jellyfish propulsion.
Oh, cool.
So, which this does give very jellyfish, but I
Yeah.
thought it looked more like a Dumbo octopus.
I can see what you mean.
So,
It went through various forms.
yeah.
I would like to open up the ratings, the booze, and give it a 5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like this movie. I thought it was really good.
I think this one was maybe apparently Angel wasn't originally supposed to survive.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Aw. They just loved him that much.
Angel managed to make it through a Jean Jacket attack by the skin of his teeth, but that wasn't always the case. Brandon, who plays Angel, told Sci-Fi that his character was set to die in not only the first draft of the script, but the second draft as well.
Mm.
Jordan was definitely in a mode of let's wreck these people, he said. And he's like, no, man, don't wreck me, though. Then they talked, and then eventually they were like, we need Angel. We can't kill Angel.
Mm. That's sweet.
Oh, and then even the T-shirts and everything had meaning.
I'm
too.
sure because it's Jordan Peele.
Yeah,
Just
they
like
were
how in
so
the
cool.
last, like in Us, just the little movies that were next to the, the TV thing were like the Goonies and all that stuff. Like, the references that he makes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Costume designer Alex Bouvier told Entertainment Weekly that the graphic T-shirt seen on our trio of heroes featured some of the bands Jordan Peele listened to as a teen,
Mhm.
like the Jesus Lizard, Wipers, and Rage. And he says they're Angels Bands T-shirts. And the methodology of that was he wears his favorite band T-shirts now, but these were things he was listening to a couple years ago. His band T-shirts are either post-punk or proto-grunge. And again, there's a bit of personal stuff going on there because
Mhm.
Jordan and Ian Cooper, they're making a movie that they want to see, and so sometimes that pops into the costumes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like their own personal touch of like what, makes it for them, like have meaning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyways, sorry, that was a cool fact. But yeah, a 5. I would agree.
5
This one
boos.
felt like the most entertaining of
Of the
think-
3 that he's
yeah.
had so far.
Andrew had brought up a good point that like this one's maybe a little more straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mason might disagree, because he thought Get Out was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
But this one felt like kind of the easiest to take in,
Yeah.
and
I see what you
think
mean.
it's also just not as dark.
Yeah, not
'Cause
as
Get
dark
Out
because
is
there's a
hella
lot.
dark.
Get Out is hella dark, and so is
Us.
because there's a lot of like
Racial
underlying
commentary.
layers of like the people. This is essentially like an alien movie.
Yeah.
But Jordan Peele's take on an alien movie,
Yeah,
which is still
which was so fucking cool.
yeah, it's just really
Beautiful,
cool. Mhm.
beautifully done.
But it's still in the same way, though, it's still a people movie because you have like the trauma that it talks also about trauma and
Yeah.
like how we remember trauma and deal with trauma.
Exactly.
Like through the character with Jupe and even what they're dealing with OJ, like with his dad, watching his dad die basically right in front of him and all this stuff and having to run the company. But I thought it was just like shot really beautifully. I really liked the characters. We didn't have that many characters, so there was kind of like not a lot of saving grace, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of room for error, and I just feel like he did it right.
Yeah, I
And in
agree.
a good way. I like the alien. I felt like the most comments that I've seen that are like bad about it is more like it's style over substance, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to like how he made the alien and stuff. But I really liked it because every
I
other
thought it was cool.
movie you see, an alien is like ugly looking and like this whole like being.
Yeah, like Cloverfield.
Oh yeah, something like that, monstrous. And this was like this really beautiful like jellyfish,
Ethereal
being.
Yeah, being. It was really cool looking. And at first it was so simplistic, but then the way that it
evolved
evolved was really, really fucking cool, I think.
I also really enjoyed everybody's like the character, like I guess the characters, but like the actors, their chemistry with each other, I felt was really, really, really good. Especially even Angel throwing in there, like his chemistry with Emerald, and then even the cryptic fucking director host, like he kind of added his own part. Even Jupe's role and how he played in the whole entire thing, I thought it was all pretty cool.
Yeah. I did like the chemistry between the actors. It was very. It felt so natural.
Yeah, it felt real. I felt like I was watching something that was happening.
Yeah. But not found footage style. Just really well, beautifully shot, like you said. Yeah, I think I would have to agree with the 5 as well. Because it was really good. Andrew, do you want to say your thoughts?
Yeah, Andrew, you guys, we have Andrew in the building. He's just been kind of like a fly on the
wall
over here.
Just lean into Josh's face.
I'm trying to see if I can extend this mic, but you can just come over closer to me. I'm fine with that. Caitlin's fine.
You got to speak into the front half of it. Other side, where Josh is.
Right here. Hey everybody, this is Andrew. I would also give it a 5. That is pretty good.
Pretty good.
No complaints. I think Jordan Peele does a really wonderful job of storytelling. There's not a lot of like plot holes or anything like that. It's just really tightly written, and so just masterclass of director.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we definitely talk about his work.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Nothing else you want to talk about? How you told me a lot this morning, a lot more about how you prefer.
Okay.
The way that,
Yeah, so, I mean, if we're just judging Jordan Peele's movies as a whole, I think this one might not be his top 3, but it's Jordan Peele, so it's still really good. I like that he weaves multiple stories into, the ending and how the whole movie plays out. I think each character's take on how they handle like nature and trying to tame the beast is a little different, but ultimately it writes a beautiful story. I think my favorite part was definitely Jupe and his background story and how that ties in with the whole movie as a whole.
Yeah.
And trying to, I guess, tame the beast and trying to figure out how to do it. And then ultimately we saw that OJ had the best approach and came out of it
on top.
The survivor.
Yeah.
And I really love that Jordan Peele incorporates a lot of just who he is and showing Black excellence, especially with the backstory of OJ and the Hathaway family. Haywood family.
Yeah.
The Haywood family. So that's really cool.
Yeah, with the clip and everything.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Definitely. Very Jordan Peele. So.
And you also said that you liked how the alien was not a human.
Oh, yeah. So my biggest gripe, I guess, with alien movies is that we think about aliens too simplistically, like that they have something similar or something that mirrors the human anatomy. So I think
it's very like humans to think that everything must be like them.
Right. Like have arms.
Can't
fingers.
be too different.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel you on that. That's totally what I loved about the movie too, of how like the movie, how he portrayed the alien and how it looked more beautiful as opposed to something that was like this really ugly creature or something that had like 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, you know?
Yeah, like in Signs, where they were very humanoid. Figures. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really cool.
Yes.
Cool. So it's like it's alien/monster movie, but also just beautiful monster.
Should we do Mason's review?
We should.
Yeah, so this is Mason's listener request.
It?
How do you feel? I can do it. It's fine. Or if you want to do it, or do you want to split it?
I'm fine with either. Whichever.
Okay. It's Mason. You got a lot to say. Mason had a lot to say. So the one thing that
I'm going to read as Mason, I
Yes.
guess. There we go. So
That's what I would do.
the one thing I like about Jordan Peele films is how he takes simple horror concepts but shakes them up into a unique experience. In the case for Nope, it could have been a simple alien invasion movie, but no, he decided to not only make the aliens a sentient, homicidal, gluttonous ship/being, while covering themes of how the masses sensationalize tragedies and our misuse and ultimate or underestimating of animals and our assumption of being the dominant species on the planet. He wishes that the Jupe character actually had a more prevalent role in the story. It's there, but it felt like it ended too abruptly, which I also do
agree.
kind of agree with that too,
Yeah.
because whenever he got sucked up, it's like, oh wait, that's just
I
it.
was like,
That's end of Jupe.
Jupe's gone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Or if anything, I feel like his death could have been more like, because I felt like he was
Cool.
definitely like an instigator and riling, he's trying to
Everything
tame the
up.
beast, but he's obviously doing it the wrong way.
He's trying to make it for show.
Yeah, exactly. So it almost is like in Jurassic Park movies, like the dudes who were always like, trying to get the money, always get like ripped apart by the T-Rex or something, you know. But I agree with you. I do, Mason. And so then he also says that Peele does have an issue, to me at least, of prioritizing themes over plot and characters. For some that works, but to me the monkey sequence, while amazing, ultimately contributes nothing since it doesn't happen to our main characters. Still a great movie, and when the audience members are being eaten, that is truly disturbing and horrifying. Remember, there were kids in that crowd. So sad. Great movie.
How many boos would you give it out of 1 through 5, Mason? 4.
4 boos.
Oh, so we've got 3 5s and a 4.
3 5s and a 4. I think that
Making it
equals, I have no idea.
4.82.
There we go. 4.82.
I don't actually know.
That sounds about right.
Now, how would you rank, now that we've covered all 3 of Jordan Peele's
films? I would rate Nope my number 1, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nope is my number 1. And then it would be Get Out and then Us as number 3.
Yeah.
Might be controversial, but yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think Get Out is still my favorite. I
Here
think
for
that one
fun.
just,
Mhm.
all the symbolism in that one was just amazing.
The storytelling, like everyone's saying as well.
Absolutely loved that film. And then I think
He was a producer on Candyman, but he wasn't a director on Candyman. Yeah. But I'm sure he had a lot of say in that.
I think he
because
did,
it seems very like up his alley in style and conceptual wise. But Candyman was also a really good movie.
Candyman was really good. I liked it. And then I think for me, Us would have to be second still too. And then Nope. But I don't know. Nope.
I'm a glutton for like a creature alien movie type of
Yeah.
situation. So
See, yeah, those don't really, like,
I love those.
People being fucked up is what scares me the most. So I think that's why I went in that way. But I did really like Nope. Like I said, again, Nope was the most enjoyable, I think, to watch, and slash the easiest to watch.
Gotcha. More
for me.
digestible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just,
Also the longest, right?
yeah, it was 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. The other
Really
was weren't that long. Yeah.
No. Well, Us was 2 hours.
Was it? It just right at 2 hours,
at
right?
2
Yeah.
hours, yeah. And I'm sure Get Out was similar.
They
But
could
yeah.
all be long. Yeah.
I think Nope was probably the most just enjoyable experience overall watching them, if I had to say between the 3. But in my ranking, I would say Get Out,
It's still
Us, then Nope. Yeah.
I feel that.
In order
I respect it.
coming out.
But yeah, that's awesome, you guys. So 4.8. There we go.
4.8. But as always, we're in the lovely Rogue Media Network studios.
They always take good care of us, and you can listen to our podcast and a slew of other great podcasts on their what is that called? Website. There we go. Rogue Media Network Studios.com. Right?
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
There we go.
And then you can listen to us.
Andrew's making me nervous because I've done this a million times.
You can listen to us or any of those other great podcasts on a slew of podcasting platforms, the biggest 2 being
Spotify
and also Apple. But wherever you do listen, don't forget to
rate, review, like, and subscribe.
That's right, because that's the only way we can get ahead in this world. And then if you would like to let us know your listener requests, any film that you would like us to cover, or your thoughts on Nope, please reach out to us on our one social media platform. That is Instagram at
Boobays Podcast, and that's BOOBAES because we're your boobays, not your boobabes.
That's right. And until next time, you guys.
Bye, bays.
Bye, bays. Beetle, 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 beetle.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.